Live streaming of SDR news coverage at HP Discover has been made possible by Intel Corporation. Check out Intel Open Port IT, where you can connect with your peers at Intel on industry topics, best practices, strategies, and more. And by Microsoft, where HP and Microsoft are working together, combining their respective strengths to deliver innovative technologies to help advance your business.
Traveling to Barcelona, we had some critical studio gear damaged by airline mishandling. That resulted in degraded audio quality during some of our interviews. We've edited the backup recordings of the interviews for maximum clarity possible. We'll offer each guest a chance for re-recording. Please watch for announcements on the Twitter stream, AXMC, and SDR News for updates.
Well, and you could say that every day is a cloudy day. Not exactly. Here in Barcelona at HP Discover, it's actually a beautiful sunny day, but we're talking about cloudy topics, I guess you would say. I want to introduce Larry Hinmann, who is with the Cloud Professional Services portion of HP. Right. Morning, sir.
How are you?
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Good to see you.
Tell me a little bit about HP Cloud Professional Services and how it fits in.
So HP Cloud Professional Services was brought about to create what I call an ecosystem for HP to be able to glue everything together from a solutions and a product standpoint. To finally give the customer a way to glue everything together, steer the needle in whatever direction that needle is on their behalf.
Now, so this is a new initiative on HP's part.
It is, although we've been in the cloud business as far as from a solutions and a services standpoint. It was mainly business unit focused and organized, and what we've done is we've taken that to the pan-HP level so that we have consistent message, consistent services, etc.
Yeah. So as you're talking with, I imagine, a wide range of customers across a number of industry verticals, what sorts of solutions do you find help them to improve their business results?
Yeah, so it really runs the gamut depending on the customer, but one of the things that we're seeing that's really front and center these days is customers want somebody that can tie it back to their business model and truly steer the needle according to what their requirements are, and then to be able to take them down the path and do it in some kind of a structure or a fashion that enables them to be where they want to be down the road. So it's not something that's cookie cutter, but it's something that is very, what we consider very modular, very agile, that we can deliver to a customer.
As people begin to consider implementing cloud in their organization, what's a common misconception that people have that you kind of have to gently correct?
Well, I think a lot of people, and we've certainly been guilty of it in the past as well, but we've learned the lessons like a lot of folks, but what we've learned is that cloud is something that can't be totally based around a single technology or a single vendor. It's an ecosystem, and it considers of a lot of technology, a lot of capabilities. The good thing about HP is we have the ability to not only do it in-house, but we can bring everybody to the party.
Mm-hmm. So do people tend to look at it in more simplistic terms and not recognize that it has to be integrated into existing operations?
Yeah, the big fallacy is that cloud is, I can go create it as a standalone architecture and then just run everything through it, and all of a sudden I have a cloud. Well, it's more than that, and it has to relate all the way back to not only to the business, but from an operational perspective to make sure that it is truly something that I can put into production and that runs my business in the fashion that I want it to do so.
Mm-hmm. So what are the, if you had to list the top three benefits that an enterprise customer would get by engaging your services, what would be at the top of that list?
Well, it's really about structure and agility and having something predictable. So, that's what we're trying to bring to the table here, is not only to help a customer and steer it in the needle that they need, right, but to make sure that we give them, it's not about cost. The fallacy is that if I go, implement cloud, I'm going to save lots of money. That's not always true. In fact, in most cases, it's not. So it's about agility and structure and deliver it and being able to have something that I can, run my business in a complete different fashion, which kind of equates to this whole thing about new style of IT.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to see how that would tie back in. So that would be the primary benefit. Are there secondary benefits that maybe wouldn't be obvious?
Oh boy, some of the secondary benefits. I mean, there's so many. They're really nice, but the ones I mentioned were the core benefits. Secondary benefits, really, I think what a lot of people don't, a lot of companies don't understand is the bit about structure and being deliberate. Everybody's talking about, modernization and transformation to new models, and whether it be cloud or, you hear all the buzzwords. But the thing about the secondary piece of it is to have something that is highly standardized and something that's predictable over time. And that's the coolness of it, I think.
Does it help as far as the ability to attract and retain IT talent within their organization?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. More so. I mean, so a lot of there's also been a fear, and we've run into that with some customers. They think, oh wow, if I go to cloud, I'm going to lose all my top talent because they're used to doing other things. No, it's absolutely just the opposite. It attracts people because it's newer technologies, it's highly embedded, highly structured. So it keeps, not only does it keep your same pool, bring them up to a higher level of education and experience, but it retains people long term. So,
after you've established a baseline of what the customer's current situation is, and kind of the as-is case, what's your next step after that?
Well, once we, the customer, there's several phases, right? So it's about looking at their business model, their operational model. Where do they want to be when they grow up? And then kind of working it backwards so we can show them options to get there. And it's never the same for every customer. Every customer has a different business model and different requirements that we can show them. Once we figure out what they want to look like when they quote unquote grow up, then we can show them the path and steer the needle to get there. And the great thing about it is we don't lock them into a single vendor. We can show them how to do it with multiple vendors.
Mm-hmm. So this process really kind of short circuits the quick access to compute resource or the quick access to storage. You could do those things, but it wouldn't be a part of a long-term strategy.
Well, it depends, right? I mean, so everybody. Some of the announcements we've done from our storage, products or product line ties into directly with the way we're trying to steer clients as well. So it depends on what you're trying to do. If the future state is to be completely in a cloud, then that is dramatically different from a storage and a data standpoint than if I'm operating something that I own and operate on premise. So, and the strategies behind that and the operational process behind that are dramatically different. So we have to figure that out first, and then we can incorporate and layer in the right products to go with it.
As you pull back and look at a wide range of customers, did you see particular trends within cloud implementations?
Yeah, it's all about hybrid. So and that's what customers are telling us. They don't want to be locked into single vendors. That's not reality. Everybody has a little bit of everything. While we wish everybody had all HP gear, that's not reality. We're trying to get there, obviously, with our model, but we know that that's not the case. We know that we have to be able to hold customers' hands and take them by the hand from a hybrid standpoint and show them how to glue this together across multiple platforms.
What's the primary challenges that you see in portability between different public cloud vendors and private clouds?
Well, that's an area that's been fairly difficult, and I think it still is somewhat difficult. And one of the things we're being asked to, because part of our process from a hybrid standpoint is to give customers the ability to burst and be agile to not only from the private side, but between the public side and the service providers, but the idea to also be able to bring them back from service providers and bring them back, be able to have the agility to go with workloads wherever I want to take them. And I think that's one of the big differentiators that from our services standpoint, our current product inventory, I think that's what we're offering, the ability to do that.
Excellent. I understand you got a new landing page. We're going to test your memory, not mine. Where should people go for more information?
So it's basically Go Cloud Professional Services.
Well, okay. That should tie it in. Thanks very much for joining us, Larry. Thanks to you folks for joining us and staying with us here as we continue to cover HP Discover in Barcelona.